I love to play Dungeons & Dragons. Now, mind you, I have not played D&D for a very long time. Since high school, in fact, I have not played D&D. That's right, I used to play D&D in high school. In fact, I was a part of a small party of D&D players. That was a very fun time in my life. Now granted, it was for a very short time. I didn't do it a lot, but the times I did do it, it was absolutely fun. And these are some of the D&D stories that I have. The first story I'm going to tell you today is my first trek into this D&D world with this D&D party. This was during high school, and my buddy T, that's what I'm going to call him because I don't want to give out real names, but my buddy T was talking to our group of friends during lunch, and he said to a small handful of them, "You guys coming to the game tonight? You still up for the game?" Everyone responded with, "Oh yeah, heck yeah." I inquired, "Game? What game?" And he informed me that they had a D&D group, in which he said, "Do you want to join?" Heck yes was my response. I was not going to miss out on the fact that there was an actual D&D group of my own friends. So that Thursday afternoon into the evening, we went to T's place and played our first campaign of D&D. I say first because I was new. They had to restart the campaign from before. They were using, I believe, 4th edition D&D? It was either 4th or 6th edition. I can't fully remember. But we began a new campaign. He asked me, "What's your character's name, what's his race, and what does he do?" I responded with perhaps the dumbest name I think I ever created for a D&D character. I told him, "I am Erafir, son of Gregor. I am a warrior human." Now, something I need to tell you about Erafir, son of Gregor, is that he did not have that much intelligence. For one thing, he was a level 1 warrior. So I ensured that that level 1 status translated through in the game. Every time that I would say a sentence in character, I started it out with, "I am Erafir, son of Gregor," or "I, Erafir, son of Gregor." And needless to say, this catchphrase became grating to everyone in the party except T, who was our dungeon master. He laughed the entire time I would do that stuff. Eventually, I stopped because I didn't want my friends to suddenly hate me. He said, "All right." And thus the campaign began. He looked down into his little area hidden away from the rest of us, and he said, "You find yourselves in a dungeon. You have freed Erafir, son of Gregor, who was chained to the walls, and have given him a standard battle axe. Nathan, since you are new to this group, I'm going to allow you to take the party in any direction until we get out of this dungeon area. Where would you like to go first?" I got super excited, and I said, "I, Erafir, son of Gregor, take this party east!" So we went east into the dungeon. T looks down, looks back up, scribbles something in his notebook, looks back up and says, "You find yourselves in a hallway surrounded by 3 doors. 1 in front and 2 to the side. Where do you go?" I responded with "forward," at which point he said, "You have to use directions, you can't say forward." So I said, "We go north." He looks down to his notebook, scribbles something, picks up a die, throws it, and says, "You have fallen into a pit of spikes. Your character has died." At that moment, everyone in the party, including myself, burst into gut-splitting laughter. We had only begun the campaign about a minute ago, and already my character, who was a level 1 warrior, had died of his own stupidity. Luckily, we had a wizard in the party, and he used a revive pellet. All of a sudden, Erafir, son of Gregor, is back. T felt bad, and so as dungeon master, he said, "You can choose the direction again. We have reset. You are back in the hallway with 3 doors. You can no longer go north. Where do you go?" And so I responded with, "We go east." T looks down into his notebook, scribbles something, flips a few pages, goes back to the one he had before, picks up the die, rolls it again. "You open the door to find a giant killer tarantula that eats you. You have now died." And once again, we all burst out into laughter. The game had only started for 2 minutes! 2 minutes we were into this campaign, and I had died twice. Needless to say, after my second death, I was no longer allowed to be the leader of the party for this campaign. And so we continued on for, I think it was an hour and a half. We had a lot of fun. We fought some pretty well-sized rats and skeletons, but other than that, we didn't really get too far into the campaign. A lot of us had to leave for various reasons. Before I left, I screamed, "I, Erebir, son of Gregor, shall see you all next Thursday!" And everyone laughed, telling me, "Oh, shut up and go home." I hope you enjoyed this strange story of my first D&D campaign. Be on the lookout for more stories involving D&D campaigns, however, not from me, but from my friends who play D&D, because they have far, far superior stories than I do. Thank you all so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next video.